Hey guys, and welcome to Crazy Burger. So in this video I'm going to be looking at Antstream Arcade on the Steam Deck. Now as you can see here, it's not actually available in the Steam store as yet, but you can still play it through the sort of web access, which is easy enough to do, and it is compatible with the Steam Deck. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started with the video. Okay guys, without further ado, all you really need to do to get started is to go to your Steam desktop, which is obviously go to Steam, Power, and switch to the desktop mode, and then we can access Antstream that way. Okay, so you need to obviously access the web, whether you can either do it by Firefox or Chrome. Now I've actually installed Chrome to actually play it on. Sometimes you have compatibility issues with Firefox. Now for Antstream you actually have to create yourself an account. Let's jump into it right away. Easy, just type in Antstream, antstream.com, very simple to play. So that's the site, and it's got thousands and thousands of retro games that you can play, mainly on sort of home computers. There are a few console games as well from like NES and Mega Drive, for example, but there's a lot of like C64, Spectrum, Amstrad, MSX and Amiga games that you can actually play. There's thousands of them. Now I think you have to create an account. Now I created an account some couple of years ago through Facebook, and I think I got a free subscription for about a year, and I've still got a lot of sort of gems I can use to actually play games. But if you're starting now, I think you sort of have to subscribe. I'm not really sure how much it is, but you definitely need to create an account and subscribe to actually play. If you click the play now and then put your login details on, I'm already got my account started, and I've obviously up here you need gems to actually play the game. You can obviously add gems to your account by pressing this, and that obviously costs a little bit of money to add. Games are all free, apart from costing you gems to actually play, and a lot of these games you will recognise. You can play multiplayer online, join up with people as well, which is quite cool as well. Challenges, weekly tournaments. There's a lot of really good things to have here. A lot of very recognisable games too. You can download it in lots of different devices. This is obviously on the Steam Deck, and it's completely compatible. It does recognise the controls, which is brilliant. I also tried PyPacker, or the site formerly known as PyPacker. I think it's called jam.gg, but that doesn't recognise the controls on the Steam Deck, so you can't actually play it at present. But yeah, there's a lot of games added. Let me jump in. You can actually make this full screen, which I'll do just so that you can see it easier. Let's zoom in, make it full screen. So this is the full screen, and you can scroll through the games easy enough. And there's challenges every week. There's tons and tons of games. You'll recognise all these games. They're arcade games as well, C64 games. And if you follow me for Evercade, you'll probably recognise a few of these titles that we've kind of looked at. A lot of them you'll find on Evercade, funny enough, like Flea and Ira. And there's tons and tons of them. And what made me think that some of these games we might end up seeing on Evercade at some point that are obviously easy enough to license. 40 Winks might be one of them. You might see Tough Enough maybe at some point. Run and Gun on the C64, can we see that? A sort of homebrew game. Millie and Molly being the other one. What about Turbo Tomato on Amiga? You see they've got Tanglewood, Tapeworm, these are all Evercade games as well. Anyway, what I'm going to do is play through a few of these games, just showing you how well it actually runs on the Steam Deck, just through the actual browser. It works really well. This is an old favourite of mine, called Flea. You can see there, you can change at the top here. It defaults to keyboard, but you just change that to your gamepad, and it recognises the gamepad that you've got, which is obviously the Steam Deck. Looks like an Xbox controller, but it's Steam Deck, and it's touchscreen compatible as well. Just press the start up the top here, and you're away. sounds great, plays fantastically well too. D-pad or analog stick, doesn't really matter. Looks very sharp, really cool, plays fantastically well. Okay, to jump out you really just press the B button and it gives you this little side menu thing. You've got settings that you can choose from. There's a few different various settings here that you can sort of choose, nothing too fancy. You've got save options, you've got different save slots that you can actually pick from, or quick game, you've got how to play as well, which is cool. And you can see here if you want to continue your game, there's little slots down the bottom here of your actual last game. You can jump straight into that. But if you want to go back to the main screen, you just press the arrow up the top here, and you can go back. Okay, let's have a look at there's thousands and thousands of games. You can do a search as well, and that'll give you the A to Z basically of all the games that are included. And there are, I don't know, there's 1,407 games, and they tend to add new games every single week. Now you might recognise some of these. Some of these are pretty old. If you're sort of really into your games from way back in the 80s and 90s on the home computers and such, you will recognise a lot of these games. There are tons of games. Even got such stuff as Alien Breed on the Amiga. Let's have a look at that. Alien Breed 2, this one is from Team 17. Got the gamepad, you can see here it defaults to keyboard all the time, but you can play it with the controls. Pretty complex as well. You have to use the touchscreen to actually get playing. But you can see it emulates absolutely fine. Obviously this is actually streaming over the internet, and I'm not even near the modem, and it seems to be absolutely fine. And it starts, obviously it doesn't even have any loading times, it basically starts right away. I'm even playing and the reception isn't particularly amazing in my Wi-Fi, but it's playing absolutely fine. Obviously I'm completely rubbish. Now interestingly, we've got lots of different variations of the same game. You've got CJ in the USA, you've got the Amiga version, Spectrum version, C64 version, so if you want to sort of jump in between different versions of the game, seeing what they're actually like, it's really up to you. You want to see the difference between Creatures C64 and Amiga Creatures? Let's have a look, just for a laugh. Make sure you always default to the gamepad and play. You'll see how different it is. Now, personally I prefer the C64 version. Let's have a look at the actual Amiga version. You'll see the difference in the graphics. I don't know, Clyde just looks terrible. I don't know. Nah, for me, nah, definitely not. Maybe I'm just biased, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me on the Amiga. Now let's have a look at some other games. Now there's no doubt there is some great games on here, especially when you sort of go through the A to Z. There's tons and tons of games that you will recognise from over the years. And if you love your retro games, you're going to be right at home. It's not perfect, to be honest. Yeah, you need decent Wi-Fi, I guess, as you are streaming these games over the net. You're not downloading or installing anything. But there's absolutely tons to choose from, and you'll probably recognise some of these games from back in the day. What's really not to love here? I don't know how much the subscription is. I'm suspected as a yearly and a monthly subscription option. I think it's probably about £40 for the yearly subscription, so it's not too bad. It's not going to break the bank, I guess, over the year. I'm sure there's other things in your bills that you pay a lot more for. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff here. Mostly seems to be home computer stuff that's here, with some Mega Drive and sort of NES stuff in there as well, and SNES too. But there's also some classics. You've got the option of playing Gods on the Mega Drive or the Amiga version, which is pretty cool. Let's sort of quickly see that actually running. I've not had any issues. See, it's all done for you in the back end. No issues with disk swapping or trying to faff about with the emulation. It just starts and you can get playing. Now guys, there are lots of other ways to play Antstream. You can play it on your phone, you can maybe play it on your laptop or something like that. Hopefully you get this app up and running soon for the Steam Deck, because I think it's good quality. There's plenty of games here to play for. If you love this stuff, then you're going to be right at home. And a lot of these games would probably cost quite a lot to actually buy individually, so that subscription might well be worth it. Anyway guys, thanks very much for watching our video. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Got to it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.